If a woman can't stop thinking about you, she'll show these 10 signs. 1. Her friends start to know you. When a woman's into you, she won't just keep those thoughts bottled up. Her friends will hear about you, again and again. It's not just casual mentions either. Imagine her gushing about the time you both laughed about that hilarious movie you watched together, or how you held the door open for her during a rainy day. She shares your conversations, your quirks, and the little things you do that made her day better. This isn't just about keeping her friends updated. It's about making sure they see the impact you have on her life. 2. She's all over your social media. Social media has become the new casual way of showing interest, but when a woman can't stop thinking about you, she goes above and beyond. It's not just an occasional scroll. Maybe she's liked your photos from years ago, or you've noticed she's watched every single one of your stories. And if she's leaving comments or reacting to your posts, that's a bold signal she wants you to know she's there. Every like, every view, every comment is a breadcrumb trail of her interest, a way of keeping you aware that she's paying attention. It's almost like a game. Will you notice how invested she is? 3. She remembers little details about you. A woman who's always thinking about you will remember details that even you may have mentioned in passing. She might recall that you love dark roast coffee over latte, or that you mentioned a favorite vacation spot you'd love to revisit. When someone can remember these small details, it's because they're cherishing every bit of what makes you, well, you. These memories become her way of holding on to you even when you're not around. And when she recalls them out of nowhere, it's a subtle yet unmistakable way of showing that she's constantly thinking of you, creating a mental picture of your world. 4. She tries to bump into you. We've all heard the phrase, right place, right time, but sometimes those coincidental encounters are more than mere fate. If she's finding herself in places you frequent, or just happens to accidentally cross paths with you, she's probably orchestrating it more than it seems. Maybe she suddenly loves the coffee shop, where you usually grab your morning latte, or she just happens to be in the park you mentioned jogging through. Every time she engineers a chance encounter, it's her way of trying to stay part of your daily routine without making it too obvious. These moments add up, each one her way of hoping to make you think of her as much as she thinks of you. 5. She initiates conversations more often. Texts saying, "How's your day going?" or "Saw this and thought of you" might start popping up. If she's initiating these conversations, it's her way of connecting with you outside of any required social interactions. She might even bring up topics she knows you're passionate about, just to hear you talk about them. Whether it's your favorite band, the latest football game, or a project you're working on, she shows genuine interest in keeping these conversations alive. Each time she reaches out, it's a small signal that she wants you in her life. She wants to know what you're up to, how you're feeling, and everything in between. 6. Her reactions to you become more intense. When she's really into you, her emotions around you become heightened. She laughs a bit louder at your jokes, smiles more when you're near, and might even show signs of nervousness. Imagine sharing a story and noticing her laughing a bit too enthusiastically, even at your terrible puns. Or maybe she looks at you a second longer, a bit more closely, hanging onto your words like they're the most interesting thing she's heard all day. She's not just hearing what you say, she's experiencing it fully, hoping to savor each moment. Every response becomes amplified because, in her mind, each encounter with you is significant. 7. She finds reasons to compliment you. Compliments from her might come more frequently, and they're not just generic nice shirt compliments. Instead, they're specific, genuine, and tailored to what she truly admires about you. Maybe she compliments your insight, saying something like, "I never thought of it that way. You have a unique perspective." Or she might admire the way you're dedicated to a particular hobby. Her compliments are reflections of how much she pays attention to you, a way of acknowledging the qualities she finds attractive. With each compliment, she's subtly expressing her admiration, showing you how deeply she values who you are. 8. She mirrors your interests. Mirroring is a common sign of interest, but when she can't stop thinking about you, it goes beyond simply picking up on your favorite sports team. She might start watching the same shows you like, reading the same books, or even picking up activities you mentioned in passing. This is her way of stepping into your world, finding shared experiences that can help build a connection. For example, if she suddenly mentions a band you're into or a new restaurant you love, it's likely because she's been curious to explore what makes you tick. Her curiosity is a sign of admiration, wanting to relate to you on multiple levels. 9. She shows signs of nervousness around you. One of the clearest signals that someone is always thinking about you is a change in their behavior. Nervous energy can be hard to hide, and it shows up in different ways. Maybe she fidgets with her phone, glances down more, or stumbles over her words when you're around. It's not that she doesn't know what to say, it's just that your presence has a powerful effect on her. Her mind is racing, balancing what she wants to say with the reality of actually standing in front of you. This nervousness is a subtle but potent reminder of how much you mean to her. 10. She finds ways to make memories with you. When she's into you, she's not just content with fleeting interactions. She wants moments that matter. From spontaneous coffee dates to suggesting weekend plans, she's looking to create shared experiences. Each memory, no matter how small, is another piece she can hold on to, something to reminisce about when you're not around. Maybe she suggests going to that comedy show you mentioned, or just happens to be free the next time you mention a plan. These shared experiences become her way of holding on to a piece of you, so when you're apart, she has those moments to recall.